Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Now we've got a little Dying Light 2 update for you. Well, when I say little, it's actually massive in the sense of what it is. An article dropped on Game Informer within the last 24 hours talking all things Dying Light 2 with the lead game designer Tymon Smektala. I hope it's pronounced like that. And we're going to take a look at the things that he's discussed within this article, from New Game Plus to photo mode, and also the Year 1 roadmap and all additional add-ons and beyond. It's quite interesting and has got me quite excited. Anyway, if you do like today's Dying Light 2 video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Dying Light 2 content, and with that being said, let's get into it. So yeah, if you're like me, you've completed Dying Light 2 and now you're just sitting there waiting for more information, more DLC drops, and you know, just basically wanting to get fresh content from the guys over at Techland, you're going to find this video particularly interesting because there's quite a few things coming over the next few weeks. So yeah, as I said in the intro, the article is on the Game Informer website, and we'll leave a link in the description if you want to read through it fully. But we're just going to break it down to the main talking points. And you know, Tymon starts off by saying, I think that everyone is really happy with the game, and I believe so too. You know, I think the game's been a great hit. It's had me intrigued from start to finish, and the feedback that Techland have had overall is, you know, the game has been received very well, and in fact it reached around 3 million players within the first weekend of launch. And as you can imagine, you know, the Techland guys were blown away by this. You know, they've watched people put 100, 200, 300 hours into this game, and that's what the start of the article talks about. It's about obviously how successful it's been and how big the player base is. And you know, of course, as a company, they've got to keep things fresh, and they talk about obviously the implementation of quite a lot of these new parkour challenges that have been sporadically popping up within the game. But you know, that's not all. He goes on to say that some of the biggest requests that the team have had since launch include new Game Plus mode, a photo mode, and additional tiers of difficulty. And he goes on to say those are definitely things that are on the table currently and that are being worked on. I don't want to go into too many specifics here, but very soon people will start seeing these things being added in one form or another into the game. So that is a great indication. Like, I mean, so much information we've been given with that one sentence. New Game Plus mode. Everybody's been wanting that. Everybody wants to run through the game to obviously get all the different endings, go down different faction routes. So I am looking forward to a new Game Plus mode. And my favourite, which I always ask for with any game that I cover on the channel now, is photo mode. There's nothing better than sitting back in the game sometimes, and you know what, in previous games like Division 2, I've just gone round looking for the best areas to get photos for numerous hours. I get myself lost in it. I love photography, and you know, in modern day gaming, what is more better for someone who likes photography than photo mode? So I cannot wait for that to be implemented. And the additional tiers of difficulty, I suppose when it comes down to the chases and things, I find them quite challenging, especially at the end game when everything's level 9, when you've hit level 9. I find them quite challenging, but yeah, I'm not entirely against that. It depends how, you know, these difficulty tiers are implemented, because if it's just for solo players trying to run around and survive in the middle of the night and getting killed pretty quick, that could be quite tedious. I think it's a good balance at the moment, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the tiers of difficulty that they're talking about are and how they're implemented. And you know, one challenge Techland and ultimately every studio that finds success is finding a way to satisfy the fan base post-launch. And he goes on to say that you have to think of everything, you know, any type of content that will satisfy the different needs of the entire very varied community, and that's why they have a 5-year roadmap for Dying Light 2, but obviously Techland is very focused on Year 1. So again, you know, it's only a small sentence, but the fact that they're acknowledging the fact that, you know, a lot of the community have finished the game, they've burned through all the content, and they are continuously updating the game with challenges. And obviously we're going to talk a bit more about the roadmap for Year 1 that he's gave a bit more information on. It just goes to show that Techland have got their fingers very much on the pulse and are listening to the community's needs. He goes on to say we've already revealed a very high level roadmap for the first year, but as players will soon discover, we will add more to the first year roadmap, and we will invite them to actually discover more content that will drop within the first year. So he's ultimately saying there that the roadmap that we know of is not by any way, shape or form set in stone. You know, they are going to be sporadically dropping bits of DLC, side missions, little bits of content to keep us topped up. And it says, you know, speaking in broad strokes, he says the first year of content will include some focus on online play, some focus on single player content, and some of the game's narrative. Other drops will be related to the game's platforming elements, like the new parkour trials recently added, and while others will be about melee focused combat. Smektala hopes that all of this and everything else planned for Dying Light 2 is, above all else, surprising. He likens the team's hopes for DLC to Forrest Gump's famous box of chocolates line, in that you never know what you're going to get in the form of DLC. So I am so excited to see, as a lead developer in the game is promising us, what they deliver. He says we don't want to fall into a repeating pattern where players will kind of know what to expect from us. And finally, one of the main talking points which got me really interested in what's to come is the article goes on to say anyone that's completed Dying Light 2 knows that the story concludes with some definite choices. Those choices are up to the player, of course, but it leaves the protagonist Aiden and his allies and enemies in some interesting places, especially where you consider where to go with story DLC. The team is sidestepping that challenge for now by developing narrative content that happens sideways to the main events. So basically what he's saying is they're going to focus on side mission content for now, but he does go on to say at some point we will actually start adding to the events of what happened at the end game. We have some ideas on paper and they are promising, but definitely this will be a challenge. And as the article closes, he does say all of this will unfold within the next few weeks and will be in players' hands within the next 1 to 3 months. So, you know, we're in March now, or let's just say April, so we're looking at July for some of these types of major updates. So whether it be New Game Plus, or if you're interested in the photo mode like me, or these side missions, DLCs, and basically just more content over the next few months. It's got me so excited. I hope it's got you so excited. Let me know down in the comments below what you are excited to see. As I say, whether it's either the New Game Plus, the photo mode, the difficulty levels, or all the extra content that we don't know about yet. Anyway, that is it for today's Dying Light 2 video. If you did like this little update, please hit the like button, let me know, because if you do, I'll start making more of these Dying Light 2 news update videos to keep us ticking over. Hit the subscribe button as well, and yeah, that's the video.